Good evening. You're listening to Quiet Sleep Cat, a calm place for slow stories and gentle rest. You don't need to focus. Just relax and let the night carry you. The low lamp is on again when May returns to the side street. She had not planned to come this way tonight. Not exactly. Her path home could have taken the main road. It could have taken the bridge lane. It could have turned past the post office, where the last lamp always hangs low after midnight. But her feet remember the quieter side street behind the library, the one with the smooth stones, the one where the walls hold the dark softly, the one where, on certain late nights, a small window glows with a low amber light. May reaches the corner and slows. The town is already folded into rest. The library is dark. The bakery has only one covered lamp somewhere in the back. The road toward the bridge is empty except for a line of soft gold on the stones. There is no errand tonight. No parcel. No note. No small delivery waiting at the far end of town. Only May, awake a little later than she meant to be, and the side street turning quietly beneath the moon. The tea room window glows ahead. Not brightly. Never brightly. The lamp behind the glass remains low, turned slightly away from the street so that the light arrives softly, as if it does not want to disturb the sleeping houses nearby. May stops outside for a breath. The place feels different from the first time, because it is no longer unknown. It is not a secret. It is not a surprise. It is a remembered room that makes the warmth gentler, not smaller. Breath in and out. She looks through the window before opening the door. The room is quiet. The stove at the back gives a faint red glow. The counter is neat. The shelves hold cups in small, patient rows. Mrs. Vale is there, moving slowly behind the low counter, her hands close to a folded cloth. May can also see the three tables: the window table, the wall table, the stove table. Last time, the window table had waited with her. Tonight, from the street, she cannot see it clearly. The curtain and lampshade make the glass reflect a soft blur of blue night. She does not mind. She does not expect the same chair, or the same cup, or the same quiet. A room like this, she thinks, must be allowed to be different each time. A person does not step into the same midnight twice. May lifts the latch. The door gives its small wooden sound. The chime near the frame barely rings. It is more like a breath touching metal than a bell. Warmth meets her again. Tea. Wood. A little stove heat. A clean cloth drying near the counter. The indoor stillness of a room that has chosen to stay awake gently. Mrs. Vale looks up. Her face shows no surprise, only welcome without urgency. "Good night, May," she says. May steps inside and closes the door softly behind her. "Good night," she answers. This time, she does not need to be told that the room can hold silence. She already knows. And because she knows, she enters more quietly, as if she is not arriving at a shop, but entering a pause that has been kept warm. This time, the window table is not empty. May sees that as soon as her eyes adjust to the lower light, a cup rests near the window. Steam rises from it in a thin, almost invisible thread. Beside it sits a guest, with both hands placed close to the saucer, but not yet wrapped around the cup. He is not looking toward the door. He is looking through the glass, or perhaps not through it. Perhaps only at the soft reflection of the room held over the dark street outside. His coat is folded over the back of the chair. His hat rests on the table near his elbow. There is nothing unusual about him, nothing that asks for a story. He is simply a person sitting late in a tea room, with a cup close enough to warm his hands when he is ready. Mrs. Vale does not introduce him. She does not explain. She does not say, "He has been here for a while," or "He comes sometimes," or "He needed the window tonight." She only lets the scene remain itself. The guest by the window, the cup, the low lamp, the night held behind glass. May understands enough not to disturb it. She removes her scarf slowly, keeping the sound of the cloth quiet. She does not glance too long toward the window table. A person can be seen without being watched. That is one of the small manners of Moonlight Town. The cup near the guest is pale gold in the lamplight. It might be chamomile, or barley, or another very light tea made for hands more than for conversation. The steam rises, then fades before reaching the window. May notices that the cup has been placed slightly to one side, not directly in front of him, as if Mrs. Vale had left it close enough to be received, but not so close that it demanded being touched at once. That feels like the tea room. Nothing here presses itself forward. The chairs do not insist. The tea does not insist. Even warmth seems to wait for permission. Breath in and out. The guest by the window shifts one hand closer to the saucer. His fingers pause at the edge of the warmth. Then he leaves them there, not holding the cup, not withdrawing either. May finds the gesture strangely tender. There are nights when even taking hold of comfort may need a little time. Mrs. Vale comes around the counter with a folded cloth over one arm. Her steps are soft. She pauses near May, not between May and the guest, but slightly to the side, as if even her own body respects the quiet shape of the room. "Would the wall table be all right tonight?" she asks. May looks toward the table near the deeper side of the room. It sits close to the wooden wall, where the lamp is softer, and the window cannot be seen directly unless one turns. The chair faces inward, toward the counter, and the stove. "Yes," May says. "It feels right." Mrs. Vale nods. No table is second best here. That is clear at once. Each table has its own kind of quiet. Tonight, the window table belongs to someone who is not yet ready to turn away from the street. The wall table waits for someone who can rest while not needing to look outside. May follows Mrs. Vale across the room. She sits without hurry. The wood behind her feels steady. The guest remains by the window. The cup remains near him. The low lamp holds them both in the same small room, at different distances from the night. Mrs. Vale does not move the guest or the cup. She does not ask May to wait. She does not ask the window table to become available. She only gives May another place, and somehow the room becomes more complete because of it. The wall table is smaller than the window table. Its surface is round, dark, and smooth from years of careful wiping. There is a small dish for a spoon, a folded cloth, a low candle shielded behind cloudy glass. The flame is so small that it barely flickers. May sits with her back near the wall. At once, she understands the kindness of this table. The wall does not press against her. It simply stays behind her. It lets her shoulders know there is no empty space there. From this seat, she can see Mrs. Vale move behind the counter. She can see the stove glow. She can see part of the window table, but not too much of it. The guest is present without being exposed. May is present without being placed at the center. The arrangement is gentle, almost exact. Mrs. Vale brings May a cup of tea. This one is lighter than the one from the night before. Its color is pale amber, nearly clear at the edge. A small slice of dried pear rests in the pot, softening the scent. "Barley and pear," Mrs. Vale says. "Very mild." May smiles. "Only enough to make the hands warm?" Mrs. Vale's eyes warm too. Tonight, perhaps only enough to make the room wider. May looks down at the cup and lets that answer settle. The room wider. Not louder, not brighter, wider. Wide enough for more than one kind of quiet to sit without touching too sharply. Breath in and out. She wraps her hands around the cup. It is warm, but not hot. The steam touches her face lightly and disappears. She takes a small sip. The tea tastes soft, almost like bread crust and fruit skin, with a clean warmth beneath it. May does not feel the same need she felt the first night. Then, she had needed a chair before going home. Tonight, she feels quieter already. But the room gives her another kind of rest. The rest of not being the only person needing stillness. Across the room, the guest by the window finally lifts his cup. The movement is slow. He drinks only a little. Then he sets the cup down again, carefully, as if the sound of it matters. No one comments. Mrs. Vale does not look at him too quickly. May does not turn her head fully. The moment is allowed to remain small. That is another rule of the tea room, May thinks. Small movements are not pulled into attention. They are permitted to be small. She looks at her own table, the folded cloth, the low flame, the cup between her hands. Then she looks toward the wall beside her, where the wood grain runs in slow lines from floor to ceiling. The tea room is not quiet because nothing happens here. It is quiet because happenings are not forced to become more than they are. A guest lifts a cup. A person sits by a wall. A kettle is returned to its place. A night continues outside. That is enough for the room to feel alive. Enough for it to hold more than one silence at a time. For a long while, the guest by the window says nothing. No one asks him to. His cup cools slowly beside his hands. The window gathers his reflection and places it gently over the dark street outside. May sits at the wall table and lets her own tea grow quieter in her hands. She can hear the small sounds of the room, the stove settling, Mrs. Vale folding a cloth, a spoon being placed into a dish, the guest breathing once, deeply enough for the shoulders to move. Outside, the side street remains blue and still. Somewhere beyond it, a road turns toward homes with dark doors and low lamps. The town is near. Everything is near. And yet, inside the tea room, nearness has been given a little distance. Mrs. Vale comes to the window table with the kettle. She does not ask whether the guest wants more. She only pauses, and he moves his cup slightly closer to her. That is answer enough. She pours a little hot water into the cup. The tea lightens. Steam rises again, soft and brief. The guest looks at the cup, then toward the window. "I am not far from home," he says. His voice is quiet, not rough, not broken, only low, as if he has been holding the sentence for some time and has finally found the right room to set it down. Mrs. Vale places the kettle back on the tray. "No," she says gently. "You are not." The guest nods once. He does not look at May. He does not seem embarrassed that she is there. Perhaps the wall table gives them both enough privacy. Perhaps the tea room itself knows how to keep one person's words from becoming another person's burden. "I only needed somewhere before it," he says. No one answers immediately. That is the kindness of the moment. The sentence is allowed to remain in the room without being covered too quickly. Somewhere before home. May lowers her eyes to her own cup. She understands, not in detail, but in shape. The guest is not lost. He is not without a door. He is not waiting for someone to rescue him from the night. Home is close. And still, he needed somewhere before it. Breath in and out. Mrs. Vale rests one hand lightly on the back of the empty chair across from him. She does not sit. She does not turn the sentence into a conversation. She only says, "Then this is a good place to be before it." The guest gives the smallest smile. Yes. Then he looks down and wraps both hands around the cup at last. May takes another sip of tea. The warmth has softened, but it is still pleasant. She thinks of the phrase Mrs. Vale used the first night. Only on the nights when the room is needed. Now May understands another part of it. A room can be needed even when nothing is wrong. A room can be needed when home is close. A room can be needed because the distance between the street and the door is sometimes longer inside a person than it is on the map. The guest does not say more. He does not need to. The room has received enough. The cup has received enough. The window table has received enough. Sometimes home is close, and still a person needs one quiet cup before entering it. After the tea has cooled to the right warmth, the guest begins to move. Not suddenly. Not with the feeling of a decision made all at once. He only places both hands on the table, then draws one slow breath, then lets his shoulders lower. The cup is almost empty. A little tea remains at the bottom, pale and still. He looks at it for a moment, as if measuring something that cannot be measured by the amount left in a cup. Then he drinks the last of it. Mrs. Vale is near the counter. She does not come over immediately. May remains at the wall table, holding her own cup and looking down just enough to give the window table its privacy. The guest sets the cup on its saucer. The sound is very soft. He folds his napkin once, then twice. He reaches for his coat and slips it on slowly. The room does not rush him. That seems to be part of what allows him to leave. No chair is moved too quickly. No bill is placed in front of him. No farewell arrives before he has finished becoming ready. At last, he stands. The window table looks different without him sitting at it. Not empty yet. Only recently occupied. It still holds the shape of someone who needed time and was given it. Mrs. Vale steps toward the door and takes the small lamp from the hook beside it. She does not hand it to him. She only lifts it slightly, enough to show the road outside through the glass. The road should be gentle now, she says. The guest looks out. The side street lies quiet beyond the door. The stones are dry. The low wall has a thin edge of moonlight along its top. Somewhere farther down, a window glows with the kind of light that belongs to someone's home. "I think it is," he says. Mrs. Vale nods and opens the door. Cool air enters the tea room softly. The guest pauses at the threshold, not turning back dramatically, not needing a final statement. He says only, "Thank you for the cup." Mrs. Vale answers, "Thank you for letting it be useful." May hears that and feels something in the room grow stiller. Not sad, not solemn, only complete in a very small way. The guest steps outside. The door closes gently after him. Through the window, May can see his figure move past the glass, then along the side street, then into the darker part of the road. He does not walk quickly, but he walks, breath in and out. Mrs. Vale does not collect the cup immediately. She lets it remain near the window for a little while. The chair stays where it is. The saucer stays where it is. The napkin lies folded beside the cup. May understands without asking. Some departures need a room to remain in their shape for a few minutes after the door has closed. The tea room did not keep him from going home. It only gave him one warm pause before he opened the door. Outside, the side street returns to quiet. Inside, the window table waits. Not empty, but finished for now. When he is gone, the window table remains quiet for a little while. The cup sits near the glass. The last warmth inside it fades slowly. The saucer holds one small ring of light from the lamp. The folded napkin rests beside it like a closed page. May does not speak. Mrs. Vale does not speak either. The room seems to know how to finish a moment without filling it too quickly. Outside, the guest is no longer visible. The street has taken him back. Perhaps he is nearly home now. Perhaps he has not yet reached his door. Perhaps he is still walking slowly, carrying the quiet of the tea room with him, like warmth held in both hands. May looks at the empty cup. It does not feel abandoned. It feels used in the best possible way. A cup should be held. A chair should be sat in. A table should be allowed to keep someone company for as long as needed. Then let them go. Mrs. Vale comes at last to the window table. Her movements are simple. She lifts the cup. She folds the napkin once more. She wipes the small ring from the table. She straightens the chair, but only a little. Not enough to erase the fact that someone had been there. May watches quietly from the wall table. The window table is good for almost home, Mrs. Vale says, as if continuing a thought May had not spoken aloud. Almost home, May repeats softly. Mrs. Vale carries the cup toward the counter. Some people need the window because they are still looking outward, she says. Some need the wall because they are tired of looking anywhere. May glances at the wood behind her. And some need the stove? Mrs. Vale smiles. Some need warmth that does not ask them to lift a cup yet. The answer is gentle. Not a rule, not a lesson. Only something learned from many late cups and quiet chairs. Breath in and out. May finishes her own tea. It has cooled by now, but not unpleasantly. The last sip tastes of barley and pear, and the deep stillness of the room after someone has left better able to leave. She sets her cup down. The sound is almost the same as the guest's cup had made. small, complete. Mrs. Vale collects it with the same care. No cup is treated as less important because it held a quieter kind of need. May likes that. The window table is ready again now. Not erased. Ready. There is a difference. The chair remains turned slightly toward the glass. The lamp remains low. The night remains outside, waiting for whoever next needs to look at it from a warm room before stepping back into it. May rises and wraps her scarf around her neck. She feels different from how she felt the first night. Then, the tea room helped her sit before going home. Tonight, it helped her understand that sitting can be a kind of bridge for many people, not only for her. At the door, Mrs. Vale says, "Good night, May." "Good night," May answers. She steps outside. The side street is cool and quiet. Somewhere farther down the road, a home light still glows low behind a curtain. May does not know whether it belongs to the guest. She does not need to know. The cup by the window had been emptied, but the quiet it gave had gone with him into the street. May turns toward home. Behind her, the Moonlit Tea Room keeps its low lamp in the window. Not calling, not questioning, only ready in case another person finds that home is close, but a quiet cup before it would make the door easier to open. Good night, and sleep well.